Hi there, my name is Jim Lottie, and I thought I'd take a minute and tell you a little bit about what I do. So I work as an engineer with a company called Collins Aerospace, and at a very special place here in St. George that some of you may have heard of before. It's called the Hurricane Mesa Test Facility. And what we do out here is we work on ejection seats that are on aircraft, on airplanes that the military might be flying, or even on other kinds of aircraft. And as you can imagine, the whole idea behind an ejection seat is it's something very different than just a typical seat you're sitting on. This ejection seat has to be able to exit the airplane in the event of a crash and be able to go up and safely get that pilot out of the airplane and then safely all the way to the ground so that they can survive what probably would be a pretty devastating crash. And so there's all kinds of subsystems on there that help keep the pilot's arms safe and in, and their head and their neck protected. Because if you think about it, when they come out and exit that airplane, there's a ton of wind and resistance that would, if their body wasn't held in close, their arm might rip off, or it could be pretty disastrous. And so we test those ejection seats up here, and what we do is we have this test track where we can shoot a cockpit that represents maybe an F-16 or an A-10 or something down a test track at a really high rate of speed, and then we can send these electrical signals into the cockpit to eject the seats out. And then we have these mannequins that ride in the seats, and they go up in the air, and we're looking for the parachute to deploy and for the seat to separate from the person, and then the parachute to bring the person safely all the way back down to the ground. So we do a lot of engineering work up here to design those seats and then to test them. And some of the things that we do is we take all kinds of readings on the sensors that are in the mannequins. We have very specific injury criteria to make sure that the neck isn't feeling too much force, or that the body is, protected in a way that our pilots are being saved. So my background is in electrical engineering. That's what I studied in school. Not long ago, I was just like you guys. It's been a little while now, but I studied a lot of math and science in school when I was your age because I really liked those subjects. And when I got to college, I went into engineering and I studied electrical engineering. And since then, during the course of my career, I've been a few different places, but I've had a chance to work around a lot of test environments. And so this is a pretty fun one. You do get to blow things up. Our last test that we ran had to run about 350 knots going down this test track. That's, to put it in perspective, 450 miles an hour, thereabouts. It took 93 rocket motors that we had to fire off to make that happen. And I've got a little video clip I'll include in here to show you what that looks like.
3, 2, 1, go!
So these rocket motors fire off in various stages to get this whole rocket cockpit and pusher sleds up to the test speed. And then once it accelerates up to the constant speed that we're trying to hit, that's when we can send in the signals to eject the seats out. And then the challenge after that is, how do we bring that rocket sled to a stop before it goes off the edge of the cliff at the end of our Mesa? And so there's a very special scoop at the bottom of the sled that, think about it almost like a snow shovel. It goes into a portion of the track where we can fill it with water. And so that scoop goes in and hits that water, and it shoots the water way high up in the sky and off to the sides, and it slows that sled down and comes to a complete stop. And we have to be careful that it's not too much water so that we're destroying the sled, but it's just enough to have this gentle deceleration down to 0 speed. So that's kind of what we do up here. We do a lot of other tests as well for different systems in connection with these seats. But STEM is a great field. There are all kinds of careers, and your imagination, you can go anywhere that you want. If you enjoy your math and your science in school, those are areas really to focus on as you get prepared for a career in engineering. And you can be in design, you can be in test. There's an endless amount of possibility out there for you. So again, wish you all the best with your studies and with what learning about what you want to do with your career. And there's great opportunity out there in front of you. Again, my name is Jim Lottie, and I work at the Hurricane Mesa Test Facility. And if you'd ever like to know more about our place, we'd be happy to show you around.